Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do with you. I'm going to charge you $150, but what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to repeat.
Current reported her vehicle stolen at 8:35 hours in the morning.
Was the car ever recovered? Have you made up your mind that you're not going back?
No, I'm not going back to prison. I've been in prison over 37 years of my life.
37 years?
Yeah, I was in state prison for 7 years, too.
We're going to use $100 from what's called the Philomena Fund to pay for the boot being removed.
He claims that Ben Affleck played him in the movie, but now this former bank robber is left with no money and 3 unpaid tickets.
3 tickets. I don't know how I got them. They just showed up in the mailbox.
Imagine that. Somebody put 3 tickets in his mailbox, Inspector Carrigan.
After he ran the red lights, yeah, I get that.
He works for a produce delivery service. Sometimes he's late getting to work or he's trying to get to work. He was in federal prison for 30 years for bank robbery, and when he came out, someone got him a job. He's been working for 2 years as he's been out for only 2 years.
Trying to do the right thing, work, you know what I mean? But it's hard with this corona. You ain't getting no hours. You're barely paying the rent right now.
Have you made up your mind that you're not going back?
No, I'm not going back to prison. I've been in prison over 37 years of my life.
37 years?
Yeah, I was in state prison for 7 years, too.
The movie The Town was a true story about him. It's about guys from Charleston, Boston, who rob banks in armed trucks. He obviously has learned his lesson because he used to have a lot of money, but now he's broke. It appears that when he got busted, he realized that he had $500,000 in his refrigerator.
Money?
They took all that money, man.
Who, the feds?
Yeah.
No, it didn't belong to you. It's the money you stole from the bank.
It doesn't matter. It was all free money, you know what I mean?
What's the biggest score you made robbing a bank?
400,000 or 500,000.
Really?
Now I understand why he went to jail for 30 years. With confidence, he told the court that he had gone to prison for robbing a bank in Cranston, which was his largest police chase in Rhode Island history. He was chased by a car, and unfortunately for him, he crashed their car and he was caught.
Back then.
He was a good bank robber. He was a terrible driver. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do with you. I'm going to charge you $150.
Due to the fact that he turned his life around, Judge Frank charged him $150 instead. He used a $150 check from Chuck Shaheen, the former mayor of Warner Robins in Georgia, who wanted the check to be used to help somebody that needed a break. He definitely needs a break. That was well-deserved. A motorist and Judge Caprio revealed to each other that they were both recently robbed. It appears that he was just walking on the street when a guy came out of nowhere. He had his bag with him and he wasn't really sure that he got hit with it until it definitely did. It appears that he was just walking on the street when a guy came out of nowhere. He had his bag with him. He wasn't really sure what he got hit with, but it was definitely enough to bust him open.
How much money did he get?
It was like $300.
Really?
Yeah.
In cash?
Yeah. Hey, I'd just like to think of it, he needed the money more than I did, so.
Well, you have a healthy attitude.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting that you said that.
Judge Caprio was also robbed the day before. He had locked his car to go to a private club that he belonged to, and he wasn't there for more than half an hour. When he came out, both of his compartments were open and everything in the compartments were under the seats. He couldn't remember where he put his glove compartment, but when he put in the center console, they were both open and everything was strewn about.
What's so ridiculous is 2 months ago, my car, the same thing. I always lock my door. Just so happens that night, I didn't lock it and some stuff was stolen out of my car.
They usually look for money, which is what they look, change or anything.
I feel pretty bad for him. That must really hurt. He's sure going to need some anesthesia for that injury and also for the tickets. He told the court that he didn't file a police report because he didn't believe they'd actually do anything about it. According to Judge Frank, there are cameras everywhere that could have helped him.
They said I might have needed stitches, but I didn't.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was just thinking if this kid has stitches, I have to give him a break. But you didn't have stitches, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to help him, Danny. All right, if he had stitches.
Either way.
His car was booted, so he has an automatic $100 boot fee. He didn't get the injury treated by a doctor either. They wanted him to, but he was being stubborn, so he decided to put a red Band-Aid on it instead. I don't think that was a wise decision. Didn't he stop to think of the risk of it getting infected?
Well, I had a nurse friend who was, I had another nurse friend who was like, oh, you need stitches, and the other one was like, you don't need stitches, I'll take care of it right now. So at least I still had a professional care.
Okay.
Well, so far, he hasn't done anything right with the whole thing. Judge Frank stated that it was going to cost him $300 plus the $100 boot fee, which makes it a whopping total of $400. He was pretty grateful. He went further to butter the judge up a little bit. He told him that he admired the work he does and how much of a good person he is, contributing to the world. Isn't the buttering up supposed to come before the decision was made? What do you think?
Actually have a good attitude. Some people come in, they get this, defensive attitude. All right, I understand what you're going through, so we're going to use, and it's not because of what you just said, we're going to use $100 from what's called the Philomena Fund to pay for the boot being removed.
Conforming to what Judge Frank said, that was only one part of the deal. The other part of the deal is for him to pay it forward by helping somebody else.
If you only knew the work that I did. That's what it's all about for me, is just trying to help make the world a better place for those who will be here after.
He recently started going through the process of volunteering for the Big Brothers and Big Sisters. He provides anything that can shape the mind of the younger generation and be there for them so the world can be made a better place. And that's a wonderful initiative.
Is that what you do? Okay,
Thank you.
good luck.
It's heartwarming knowing that there are people out there willing to help other people no matter what it takes. On to our next case. Judge Caprio and a motorist exchanged their auto theft stories. She was charged with parking on a sidewalk on Vito Street. She stated that her car was stolen.
On June 5th, current reported her vehicle stolen at 8:35 hours in the morning.
Was the car ever recovered?
It was, yes, it was on the 24th, which was a Friday.
On that same day in the evening, she received a call saying the car had been found when she had just purchased a new car. She stated that if the ticket was issued on the 21st and was also called then, her car would probably have been recovered sooner and she wouldn't be in a 6-year car note again. Well, she's got a valid point.
It wasn't a police officer. Police officer may have had the list of stolen cars.
Okay.
This was a parking enforcement officer. Sometimes they call them meter mollies.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
We don't call them.
Yet another case where Judge Frank didn't disappoint. He dismissed the case. Miss May mentioned that she'd like to find out who stole the car so she could take matters into her own hands. That was obviously a joke, or maybe not. It's interesting how even a locked car can be stolen.
When I went, Coletta Tow and had it. The inside was immaculate. They just took all the paperwork, the CD, the back window was busted, and the rear.
The bumper looked like they backed up into something, but her steering wheel column was intact. She believed whoever took the car had the key. He advised her to make sure to always lock her car, no matter what.
Good attitude.
You gotta. I mean,
people
what
come
are you
in,
gonna
just
do?
pound them.
I like to, yeah, but,
You like to pound this guy.
right?
You want to use this on him?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah?